大家好，我叫何非凡. Hi everyone, my name is Anthony. Today we're going to talk about the particle le as a completion marker. And it's sort of hard to explain, so we're going to start with an example. 今天早上我喝了2杯咖啡 means that this morning I drank 2 cups of coffee. So verb plus le indicates the completion of an action. And even though we use the past tense in English to translate it, so like 我喝了2杯咖啡, we sort of have to translate that using the past tense. I drank 2 cups of coffee. But it's important to remember that le is not a past tense marker. It's a completion marker. So 喝了 means that the cups are empty. The act of 喝 is completed. It's not a past tense marker. Now, that distinction might seem subtle, but it's important to remember that we can use le to talk about things that will have happened in the future. So a sentence like 明天吃了早饭以后我们去上课 means that tomorrow, after eating breakfast, we will go to class. But let's break down this phrase for a second because it's really interesting. 吃了早饭以后 means that like after the act of eating breakfast is completed. And if that sounds like a really weird way to translate it, it is. But it's sort of the most accurate that I could come up with to really convey what this phrase means. So 以后 is just after. Remember that comes at the end of a phrase in Chinese. But after the act of eating breakfast is completed, then we will go to class. So breakfast, 早饭 is the object. That's like the easiest part of this phrase. 吃 is eat, and le is completion. So it's like 吃了早饭以后 means after the act of eating breakfast is completed. But for the next few examples, we're not going to go into that level of detail. We're going to go back to using the past tense in English to translate, but we're going to remember that le is not really a past tense marker. Instead, 我买了2张飞机票 means that I have completed the act of buying plane tickets. I bought 2 plane tickets. Like, here's the receipt. I bought them. It's good. It's done. Or 我昨天晚上看了星球大战 means that last night I watched Star Wars, and the act of watching is completed. So 昨天晚上我看了星球大战 I got my tones wrong on that, but 星球大战 is Star Wars. And 看了 means that you watched it and it's done. Here's a really interesting example. 你到了纽约给我打电话 So we could also say 你到了纽约以后 like after you've arrived in New York. But we don't have to because le indicates that action will be completed. So 你到了纽约 means that you have arrived in New York. And like once that has happened, give me a phone call. So 你到了纽约给我打电话 means that after you have arrived in New York, give me a phone call. 你到了纽约 Yeah, it's hard to explain, and it might be a little hard to understand. But at this point, with this case of le, this isn't the last time you'll see le, but just remember, it's a completion marker. When we talk about things that did not happen, we don't use le. We use may. So if there's something that would have happened but didn't, it's not completed. So why would you use le? Instead, the proper way to say that something didn't happen in the past is to use may. So if someone asks you, 你吃饭了吗? Have you eaten breakfast? Or have you eaten? And you haven't, you could say, 我没吃, I haven't eaten. 你吃饭了吗 is just like a really polite thing to say. Like how we say, like, how's it going? But you don't really care how it's going. 你吃饭了吗 is almost a greeting in Chinese. Have you eaten? 我没吃, not yet. But yeah, so if you're talking about an action that's completed, you can use le. So Wang Peng 洗了衣服. Wang Peng washed his clothes. And they're nice and clean, the action's completed. 他洗了衣服. 白银爱昨天没洗衣服. She didn't wash her clothes yesterday. Look, they're still all dirty. So, 白银爱昨天, usually when you talk about the past, you really want to be specific about it and include a time word. So, 白银爱昨天没洗衣服. That again is the proper way to negate something in the past. So I hope that all made sense. This is not the last time you're going to see la, but just remember for now that la, when paired with a verb, indicates the completion of that action or event. It's not the same as past tense, and in negative sentences, we don't use la. When you're trying to talk about something that did not happen, don't use la. Use may or mayo. And that's all I got for today, so I hope that all made sense. 再见.